Well, it goes without saying that I'd have an open door policy. I think that's absolutely important, but I don't think it's enough. I think that you have to go to where people are, whether it be their cultural centers, community centers, whatever it is, and you have to communicate with them in ways that they communicate, which could sometimes be through social media. So you have to have a broad-based plan to communicate with them, but more importantly, to listen to your constituents. Because that's how you can best represent them, and this is the most important piece of the puzzle. You have to listen to your constituents, and you are their representative in Ottawa. You have to go to Ottawa and represent them there, represent their interests, develop policies that will help make their lives better, vote on issues that are going to affect their lives. So I can't emphasize that too much. I just think that it's very important that we're out there in Ottawa representing the interests of the constituents.
Thank you. Mr. Karvgiannis?
I want to thank you for the question. This is the most ethnically diverse riding in Canada. Demographics have proven that time and time again. The majority of the people have immigrated to this country after 1984. It's not only important that you want to run in a constituency because you want to hold the flag bearer of your party. It's also important that you live in that riding. Your children went to school in that riding. Your children are teaching in that riding. Your wife shops where the other people shop. You are in the midst of where other people are. I'm the only candidate that lives in the riding. My opponents are here, you know, holding the flag. And that's admirable and that's commendable what they were doing. I'm the only candidate that lives here. When it comes to crime rate, when it comes to looking after the community, marijuana grow houses, we're infested. I made a comment. Not in my riding, not under my watch. This has no place. And I personally, along with other politicians, made sure that we kicked them out. Matter of fact, there was time and time again that I personally blocked the people from coming out and called the police, and the police came and raided them. People call this, you know, heroics act. No, not in my riding, not 5 yards away from my kid's school, where my kid was going to school, you're going to have a grow house. Not here. Not when it comes to marijuana grow houses, meth labs, my record on SARS. I am, you know, there was an advertisement, the guy says, took off his wig, says, I'm not only the president, I'm also a customer. Guess what, folks? I'm not only the member of parliament, I'm also a constituent of this riding. And what happens in this riding and what takes care of this riding is something that's important to me. That is why, and I want to put this on the record, time and time again, I've been voted by my peers the best constituency MP on the Hill. Number one, it's not my word, this is Hill Times, voted by other members and staff of the House of Commons. And if my opponents want to copy this, I'm more than delighted they can go to my website and take it down. That's fact. The rest of the stuff is reality.
Angus?
Thank you, Ms. Pauline Thompson.
So to get back to your question, we think that it's important to support ethnic communities by allowing them to obtain charitable status, to have a stronger voice, and then to reflect that their will and their wishes at Parliament. In terms of crime rate, I think I have something to say about this. I have to wonder if 4 elections in 7 years, costing $380 million a pop, wouldn't put a few more police on the street and wouldn't allow us to better resolve some of our crime issues. That's the first thing. And since Mr. Karvgiannis has attacked all the other opponents about not living in the riding, I would like to say that he has missed 140 votes. He has the 3rd highest record for absenteeism in Parliament. So I guess he's busy at home.
I'm busy representing my constituents.
You have the 3rd highest rate for absenteeism,
my constituents.
superseded only by Ignatius and Harper.
Let's be perfectly clear.
Missed 140 votes.
Perfectly clear. Voted continuously by my peers the best constituency MP.
5%, 4%, 3%.
How do you represent
Number
people
one.
when you don't go to Ottawa and you don't
You know what?
I'm
sorry. I don't have to take lessons from people.
It's a question. How do you justify
The
not
question was
representing
put,
people
answered.
in Parliament?
I represent my constituents. I'm there when my constituents call. I am there at midnight. I'm there in the morning. I'm there every time.
You're not in Ottawa
and that has been answered time
representing
and time again by people returning me to Ottawa. That is where
Well,
it
maybe
counts.
if they knew a little bit more about
You
you,
know
they
what?
wouldn't.
Sorry, my constituents know where I am. My constituents know where my house is. My constituents are my neighbors. Who is your neighbor?
Well, you know,
Who
it's
is your
interesting
neighbor?
that you
Please
ask me
answer
that.
the question.
I would
Who is
be
your
happy
neighbor?
to.
Do you live in Scarborough Agincourt? Do you know the streets of Scarborough Agincourt? I do, because when my constituents call,
Can I
I am
answer the
there. When they
question,
come to
Jim?
my office, I am there to
Can I
answer.
Stick to the
You-
question.
Yes. I'll just quickly answer the charge, though. I do live in Scarborough East Pickering. My parents lived in this riding for many years. I'm very familiar with it. You can't have it both ways, though, Jim. Yesterday I heard you defending the fact that Michael Ignatieff lived for many years in the States, which to me isn't an issue. But you defended that issue. And then you turn around
Sorry, we're
and
talking
you
about
attack
Scarborough
me.
Agincourt. We're
and then
talking
you
about
attack...
Scarborough
May I finish,
Agincourt.
Jim?
We're talking about
Please don't
Scarborough
interrupt.
Agincourt.
And then you
You're
attack
attacking
me
me of
because
not
I live
representing my
next door.
constituents. You're attacking
These
me
are
about
two
not
separate
representing my
issues,
constituents.
Jim.
Let's
These are two
be
separate-
perfectly clear.
May I?
Not voted by my constituents, but my peers on the Hill. These are other members of Parliament and staffers.
In fact, Jim, Michael
May
Ignatieff
I-
has called you
may
a
I-
disgrace
excuse
to the
me.
party.
May I add one
I'm
more?
sorry. You
one
know what?
more-
I take offense to that.
Well, you
I
should.
really take offense to that. Because Mr. Ignatieff is my leader, and as I support him, and if I was a disgrace to the party, he wouldn't have signed my
Sorry,
nomination
we have to
papers. I
stick to
wouldn't
the
be-
question.
I
because
would
Okay,
not
let's
be a
get back to
candidate.
the question.
One of the concerns about when you say, the hear and act upon the concern in the Chinese community or in the Japanese community, whatever. One of the concerns nowadays are, the disasters in their own
Right.
country. What have you done in this area previously?
Okay, maybe Ms. Pauline Thompson wants to say
Helping to relieve
Right.
the disasters,
Well,
the suffering of the people over there.
Unfortunately, we're not currently holding a seat in Parliament to be able to influence what Parliament should be doing and
No,
what
I
Canada
mean,
should be doing.
yourself.
For myself?
Not really related to the party.
Well, the Green Party is anti-nuclear power, as you may or may
Okay,
not be
maybe now
aware.
we'll go for 1 minute for each and to speak. So maybe, Ms.
Oh.
Patchell, you can speak
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
Is this closing
turn.
statements that you want?
No, not yet. So just have some fair time.
I think it's a great question. I think that Canada needs to reestablish themselves as world leaders on the world stage, reestablish their reputation, but in things that we used to do and things that we should be doing. And disaster relief is something that we should be doing. We should be ready to mobilize and go places where there are disasters. Example would be Japan, Haiti. I think that's very important. I think in addition to that, we should be doing peace building and peacekeeping and climate change initiatives. I think we should become world leaders in these areas.
Thank you.
So yes, the Green Party absolutely supports the military being a disaster relief force available to help out in crisis situations. What happened in Fukushima is affecting us now in Ontario. We are currently being bathed in radiation from Fukushima, as are many other parts of the world, and it just further brings home this concept that it's one planet. The idea of borders is really all a product of our imagination, because we are interconnected with absolutely every person on this planet, and everything that happens in any part of the world is going to affect us. Now, we're told we shouldn't be overly concerned about the radiation levels, but personally, I'm concerned. I find that very concerning, and I think that my heart goes out wholeheartedly to the people of Japan and what they've been through. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible disaster, unprecedented in terms of the colossal nature of the earthquake they had to endure.
Thank you.
Maybe in the future,
Karvgiannis?
regardless of whether the party is in power or being in the government, maybe they should have their own shadow ministry for this
We
kind
do.
of international.
Thank you, Mr.
relations.
Karvgiannis. You can speak.
I want to thank you for the question, Peter, and you know my track record. Be it Gujarat, India, be it China, be it Haiti, all over the world. When there's a disaster happen, it ends up on my door, and there's a protocol that we set up in place after 2005, the tsunami, and the protocol called for certain things. Unfortunately, this protocol was gutted, and if it wasn't for my pushing, be it in China, be it in Haiti, and everywhere else, that we would not have had match dollar for dollar and would not have been able to expedite the immigrants faster. I don't only wear the shoes. I've been to those places. I've seen the shoes, and I've been on the ground. And I've been to every disaster that has happened. In Japan, I was the first one to call the ambassador of Japan and the consul general and say, how can we help? I work with stakeholders, be it Global Medic, be it Humanity First, be it Red Cross, be it World Vision. That's the work that I do. And that's where I am, and I've always been, and I will continue to be. Right in the front lines, shoulder to shoulder with the Canadians that are providing the aid, the DART team or the other agencies, and the people that have been affected, because I have been through floods, I've been through earthquakes in my country of Greece, and I've lived it.
Thank you, Mr. Karvgiannis. So this is it for all 6 rounds of our debate, and after the commercials, we'll come back for a closing statement.